The Green Whisperers, from urban to rural. Observation has been already a fascinating job ever since my childhood. Be it the time I spent on the farmlands during my vacation or the academics in the urban daily life. But what if I tell you I have an eye to see and seek to what micro beings have to say about them? Doesn't it sound interesting? My observations strongly grew, especially in the rural segment, because it was naturally gifted and so less disturbed by the human intervention. The place where I come from has a readily gifted white mud house architecture, which is sadly fading and are in a much dilapidated condition. Over time, the construction or the building material recipes have lost. What astonishes me is that humans may have forgotten the recipe, but the small green whisperers who are now slowly becoming my friends may have a secret to share. In their language, we are everywhere, just rise where we have the right surrounding. My objective is now to reopen the lost recipe and reimagine the lost potential and properties of this earth. Because it's a relaxing bed after all for the green whisperers. I slowly observed some of their relatives, be it on a cement plaster, from the sides of the curbstone of the RCC slab in the urban, and the white mud wall and bricks of the rural. Each has their own way of living and surviving. Now the question arises, ever since this movie has started, why am I calling them green whisperers? Or why do I feel like I can sense them a bit? Then to answer this, with an eye of an architect, hand of a farmer, thought of an observer, and a compassionate little scientist growing in me, all I did to come closer to them is I sat beside them, observing. A little gentle touch and just kept sketching. I sketched the texture. I sketched them deeply in the process. And I collected a conversation what made my content for today's screening. When I see the rural moss, I scraped some of the samples from the skin of the white mud. It was stored in a dark place without water, and after removing it, sprinkling some water, it's back from the sleep. It looked revived. What happened when it was dehydrated? It turned out to have pointy heads, and when it was hydrated back, it turned out to be blooming. On the other hand, the urban moss looks to be a little competitive, just behaves like the real life population in fast growing cities. I saw a rich, bushy, glassy moss on the cement plaster wall, so much flowered and so bossy. They did not even care, I felt. When I saw them in section, it was like they were competing, just like evergreen trees in the forest, trying to reach the maximum heights so that they can get exposed to the major sunlight. However, they were born and brought up with whatever they could feed on: sewer lines, chemicals, black and grey water, construction material with rich carbon, and bloomed at the fullest potential with branch popping out as a tar, which kinda now interacts with other tars. Sassy. On the other hand, rural moss seemed to be a bit humble. Not discriminating, folks. Just observations and assumptions. No hard feelings. I think it's the region and its surrounding that affects a living being in many ways. However, there are many mosses and their relatives I'm not aware of, but I was interested to know about the ones which grew right in front of me. The rural moss was a seamless, thick growth like a smooth green carpet on the white mud. Somehow, the warmth of the mud and readily properties of the earth may have affected the green and turned them into less competitive. They seem to live more of like a village family and adapt and live the way they feel better. They did radiate a thought to me while I was sketching them. Leave us alone, we are happy together. Don't touch us, but accept us the way we are. On keen observation and sketching them, I realized as they look like an island to me. Well fed, decent enough to live longer till it rains. They seemed to my sketch like microscopic island with microscopic coconut tree like branching. In the end, all I inferred is the green whisperers are not just the moss we look at and slip at, but they are the hair of architectural body. They are the filter skin of the shelter which nature has gifted us naturally to eat up the harmful pollutants and make sure that architecture is not alone anymore. With this, I continue to explore even further.